You are so stupid. Look at you. You messed up again? And you're even dumber than what people say you are. And these few people that are nice to you, they're just doing that because they feel sorry for you. And the worst part is, you will always be this way. These negative thoughts, believe me, I know them all too well. They're like a constant echo in my mind, reminding me of every failure, every mistake, and every time I didn't measure up. And I'm willing to bet some of you've experienced some of them too. In fact, research shows that the average person has about 60,000 thoughts a day. And up to 80% of those are negative. Y'all, that's still 45,000 negative thoughts every single day. It's no wonder we get caught in these patterns that don't really serve us. But here's what I found out. We don't have to let these thoughts control us. It's possible to change the way we talk to ourselves and take back some control. When I was in school, there was this guy who used to bully me. I'll call him Manny. And every day in this crowded hallway for about a week, this dude used to smack me in the back of the head to humiliate me in front of everybody. And I just felt like there was nothing I could do about it because he was so intimidating. But one day, something changed. I just got sick of it, so I came up with a plan to stand up to him. Now, I am not promoting violence. I'm just telling y'all what I did. The next day when he hit me, all it took was one punch in his chest. And that was the end of it. The bullying stopped that day, and I didn't have any more problems from Manny after that. But these moments are not just about standing up to bullies like Manny. They're also about standing up to our own inner voice. And by inner voice, I mean the bully within. See, bullying doesn't just affect us physically. It also plants seeds of doubt in our mind that can negatively impact many areas in our life. In school, I also didn't have a very good self-image. So I started to hang around kids who didn't really care about school because of my need for acceptance and approval. Their grades slipped, and eventually so did mine. And eventually mine slipped to the point of me failing the 9th grade. You want to talk about shame and embarrassment. And having to get on the summer school bus that year taught me a painful lesson. That who you hang with determines how high you fly or how low you sink. I barely survived high school, and I tried to go to college because that's what we were told to do to be successful. And thinking community college would be easier, I figured I'd give that a shot. And after starting out with such great intentions, I flunked out of community college. And not just once, but twice. So now these feelings of failure are not just about grades. They're about my entire future. So after the second failure, I made another decision. I decided school is not for me. I'm just going to get a job and work. And after bouncing around from low-paying job to low-paying job, I eventually found myself in the janitorial maintenance department at Effort. And this job had started out not the most glamorous, but just a way of me feeding my family that includes 5 kids. I know, that's a lot of kids, right? Feel judgment coming in from all over the world. This job taught me more about resilience and leadership than any college degree ever could, in my opinion. And after studying the mentorship from my boss for an entire decade, I got promoted and took his job as facility manager when I retired. And I found out it's not just how smart you are, it's how are you smart. By overcoming adversity, we can look back and leverage it for the rest of our lives when adversity hits. Because in life, sometimes we win, but sometimes we learn. Either way, we can come away with more than we had when we first started. But it starts by us taking a stand against the bully within. Now, what can we do when life presses play on that negative playlist called your top 50 demotivational hits? What does it look like? Well, I got about 17 different principles I'd like to share with y'all today. I'm just kidding. I'll leave y'all with 2 of the biggest ones that's helped me, and I believe they'll help you as well. The first principle is join a level up community. We all want to belong to something. It's innate within us. So the need for connection and community is important. At the same time, we need more than just social or recreational connection. We need to be involved in community that calls us to grow or to level up. Now, there were two environments that kind of took me to another level. The first one was with the people at the church I attended. Now, I was not only learning about faith, but I was pushed and I was challenged to apply that faith everywhere I went, including on my job. And on the job, my boss's constant mentorship was a voice of encouragement and empowerment that built confidence in my abilities. So by joining these different communities that calls you to be supported and stretched can be a catalyst in you leveling up. Now, the second principle is to start photobombing yourself. That's right. Photobomb yourself. Now, stay with me on this one, y'all. Let me break it down for you. You know how when somebody's trying to take a picture of someone or something, and then somebody else thinks it's funny to just jump in and disrupt that moment, right? AKA photobomb. Yo, I found out we can use the same idea against that negative self-talk when it tries to create a negative self-image.
That's good. Good.
When you notice those thoughts start to rush in, whatever they are, why is my life always like this? When am I ever going to do that? Am I enough? Whatever they are for you. That's when it's time for you to jump in and disrupt those moments. But you do it with positivity. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. And for me, to be honest, stuff like reading affirmations or quotes and verses from different books and deep cleansing breaths, man, that stuff felt fake to me. I know it had worked for a lot of people. They said they had had success with it, but for me, I just wasn't feeling it at the time. But the more I kept working it and kept practicing it, the more it started to push back against the bully within and the lies that I had been telling myself for years. So consider photobombing yourself, because some of the most important words that we'll ever hear are the words that we say to ourselves. Now, some people might say, well, that's great for you and everything, but what if I don't want to make any changes? My life is not that bad. My friends, when we just concede to that negative self-talk, that bully within, not only does our well-being suffer, but we risk living unfulfilled lives. And we tend to grow weaker as a society. And bad dreams, they can turn into nightmares. Man, listen, I know life be like them. Sometimes there's some things that can catch us off guard. Like for somebody who has a career-ending injury. Now they don't even know that they have the confidence to come back from that. Or somebody who loses a close family member and they don't even want to get out of the bed to face the day. You know, there's countless situations that knock us to the ground and cause us to begin searching for the inspiration to just keep going. But please know, there is hope. Since I began to start talking back to the bully within, I've been invited to encourage others. There's another side to failure and loss. And I believe I'll be able to encourage people too. Then when we as individuals come together and use our collective will, then we're going to create a ripple effect of resilience. Then our cities, our country, and our world will shift from just barely surviving. We'll go to thriving. And it'll demonstrate a model for the next generation, teaching our kids that failure and loss, it's not the end, but it's the beginning of something greater. And the true measure of success is not the ability to avoid failure, but it's the ability to keep going and to keep growing despite it. And remember, if there's no enemy on the inside, then nothing on the outside can stop us. Thank you.